tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Friday, May 27th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I know there are a lot of people expecting to see fireworks at the Cali Pro this weekend. And if you're one of the lucky few who managed to get your hands on a pair of tickets, you might want to get there early because Tonio Burton looks like he's ready to put on a show. After a breakout season during last year's rookie campaign, which included a 10th place finish at the Olympia, Tonio and his team look like they're more than ready to make the jump from the 212 up to the open class. Throughout the entire offseason, there was a lot of buzz coming from his camp. And if you're checking out this update that he dropped earlier in the week, you can see why. He's coming in with more size, better conditioning, and a whole lot of confidence, which probably goes with the territory given what we've seen him go toe-to-toe with Sean Clarita at the Legion Sports Festival last year. So if he comes in locked and loaded, he's someone who has a chance to potentially sneak into a top 5 before this is all said and done. Now, with all due respect to Tonio Burton and everyone else competing at the Cal Pro tomorrow, in order to walk out of that building with a win, you're going to have to go through Charles Griffin, which means that you've got your work cut out for you. After taking a week off to give his body a chance to rest following his second place finish at the Indy Pro, Charles is heading into the weekend looking to show bodybuilding that Charles Griffin 3.0 is ready to make a major impact on the 2022 season. When he was on stage at the Indy Pro 2 weeks ago, we saw a lot of the work he put in during the offseason on full display. And if it wasn't for Blessing Awodibu completely hitting that one out of the park, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation because he'd already be sitting pretty with an Olympia qualification in his back pocket. But if he shows up tomorrow even a few percentage points better than he was at the IFBB Indy Pro, this one could be over before it even starts because there might not be anyone else in the lineup with enough firepower to knock him down. I know that we're still a few months away from the Vancouver Pro, but if the numbers that we're hearing from Iain Valliere's camp right now are accurate, they might as well start penciling his name in at the top line right now because everyone else is just going to be out there competing for second place. According to Ian's camp, right now his weight is hovering somewhere in the neighborhood of an incredible 297 pounds, and he's already in the best shape of his career to start off a prep. If everything remains on track, he should be coming into the IFBB Vancouver Pro with at least 5 more pounds of stage weight than he had last year, which is a ton when you consider the fact that he's already going to be the biggest guy in the lineup. Iain is at a point now where the expectation is for him to be dominant at a show like Vancouver, which isn't something that I think we would have said 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a long road for him to establish himself as one of the premier talents in the bodybuilding world. But now that he's made it, and he's got a taste of what it's like to succeed at the highest level, I can't imagine that he'd be willing to give it up anytime soon. On the off chance that you're one of those classic physique superfans who's weirdly excited about the Vancouver Pro lineup, you're going to love this little segment because it looks like we're finally going to get a chance to see Chen Kang make his return back to the pro stage. Because of all of the COVID stuff and the international travel restrictions, we haven't seen Chen on an IFBB stage since way back in 2019 when he placed 5th at the Olympia. Now, obviously, there's been a change in the division over the last few years, and it's as competitive at the top as it's ever been. But that still doesn't change the fact that he was regarded as one of the top 5 athletes in the world at one point in time. So if he can still operate at that elevated level, he's a threat to win almost any pro show he enters. And if he shows up in Vancouver locked and ready to go, he adds as good a chance as anyone to walk out of there with the title. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.